Hello, my name is Kelsey. I am a book lover and I am a writer, and this is my first time doing a vlog. I'm about to move to Scotland in about a couple months, and I wanted to do something to kind of fill my time while I waited. Right now I work at a used bookstore, and I'm kind of working on some writing projects as well, so I thought I'd film like my in-between times and review some of the books that I'm reading right now, because working at a bookstore you get access to millions of books, and I have a staggering problem. I'm in the middle of cataloging them all actually right now. I'm up to 300, you know, for someone who needs to travel and pack lightly and who tries to limit herself, because really you can't read all the books at once. It's a perfect amount for me. So yeah, I'm gonna start with my first book. I read a lot of fantasy. I kind of touch on every genre because working in the store you get like perspectives from everyone on different genres and that sort of thing, but since forever my favorite genre has always been fantasy. And now as an adult reading different fantasies, I have a hankering for like really juicy writing in amongst it as well. So right now I'm reading Barbara Hambly's Dragonshadow. It's the second in a trilogy, I believe it's a trilogy. Don't quote me. It's the second in a trilogy. The first one was Dragon's Bane, and I picked it up basically because of the cover, because this is the second cover, but look at that awesomeness. Dragon fighting dragon, small man with spear. Yeah, the characters were really well done. Both the two main characters are husband and wife, which really for me stepped away from the usual trope of like young teenagers going out on their heroic adventure to like follow the plot of like, you know, I don't know how to draw this, explain the plot, but they go on the hero's adventure, the hero's journey, that's it. They go on the hero's journey, and these characters obviously do go on a hero's journey, but they come from a different background than just like young teenagers going off and like discovering that they're the awesome chosen one. Jenny, who's the wife in this, is a struggling mage, or not mage, she's a witch. She's a struggling witch, and she's really trying to make her way and become more powerful, but she just can't seem to grasp it. And her husband is a known dragon slayer, and when they were younger they worked together to kill a dragon. The husband, he's a huge book nerd, even though he's like the lord of the northern area. What I like about this is there is what I like about this is there's lots of character development. It's a real branch from your usual sort of story. Yeah, she writes really fresh characters, and you see them come together a second time. In the first book, they're called to slay a dragon, because they're rumored to have done it before. This is the second book, and in this book, they are called to fight other dragons. I don't want to give up too much away, because that's just no fun. But in this book, they do, they're forced to face other mages who have harnessed the power of dragons for ill use, and their son is wrapped up in it as well. And yeah, so it's a really exciting book. I really recommend her first book, Dragon's Bane. It can stand alone on its own. That's the nice thing about it. It can stand alone on its own, which is always for me a good sell. Yeah, the book should stand on its own merits. Sequels are good too, but anyway, I'm rambling. Second book I want to recommend is, second book on the list of books that I'm reading right now, because I am reading 3 books right now. And the second one is The Family Fang by Kevin Wilson. I have never read any of his books. One of the girls at the bookstore who works with me, she reads voraciously and a really broad range of unique books. And when I saw this book, for some reason, the cover reminded me, and the way she described it sort of reminded me of Jeanette Wall's Glass Castle, which was a book I really enjoyed. I avoided it for ages because I tend to dodge the bestsellers. Not because they're not great, it's just because oftentimes they are great usually. That's why half the time they're bestsellers, for the most part. But I like to appreciate the underappreciated genre books, And I like my fantasy, and not often do I see bestsellers in the fantasy section, meant for more, I don't know what kind of audience it's meant for. I'm going to edit this all out. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be nice. So many jump cuts. Anyway, this is The Family Fang by Kevin Wilson. It's about a family who the parents are performance artists and they drag their children, and the children seem to be very grounded, which is where the connection to Janet Wall's book was. The kids were also kind of grounded. So I'm hoping it turns into something really awesome that I can share with other people, because this girl always recommends the best of the bestseller section. And literature, good literature, like 21st century literature, which is something, I think when I did my English classes, 21st century literature was never really looked upon, but maybe that was the older feelings of my teachers at the time. Instead I ended up reading like the very old classics, which I'm totally grateful for. They're a great thing to add to one's personal had-read library, but at the same time, it's also important to read what is now and what's coming out now and how it reflects who we are. So yeah, so that's about it for now. Perhaps some other time I'll give you more of a tour of what I'm reading or what I have read. I have a little stack next to my bed of things I need to get going on. And especially now that I'm about to move, I have to really limit what, not about to move, it's 2 months, but you know, I'm very excited, so I want to pack it all. But I need to get a bunch of them read because I can't bring all my books. Tragedy, I know. I'm sorely tempted to like wear one of those fishing vests and stuff a book in each pocket, but I don't think customs likes that. It looks a bit dodgy. So there's a bunch of books I need to get read over here before I head over there. And yeah, so that's what I need to do. So I'll keep you updated with those. I'm also trying to write at the same time. I'm trying to write a book. I've written 6 books on my computer, but they were written in more like the early days of high school and university, and so they're not as well fleshed out as I would have liked. They don't reflect the tone of my adulthood, which is so much more full of angst than I realized, just, you know, suppressed and all that good stuff. So you'll see me talking about that. I'm going to look around at the dogs. There's 2 dogs living in the house with me, and they're fabulous little darlings. What else? I'm probably going to upload the occasional Minecraft video. I have a friend, too, who vlogs really awesome vlogs. And I'll probably do maybe some collaboration with her. She does some great stuff. Yeah, that's about it. I have an actual blog where I like to write stuff, so if you want to have it over there, it's definitely all really concise, like all, you know, it's just like the way I speak. Very concise, very well organized, definitely does not stray off the topic. If you ever feel like checking that out, that is also the place where I hang out, so. I will see you later, Internet. Bye.